What if you could design your dream home room by room without hiring a designer or spending a fortune? Well, I've been doing exactly that using ChatGPT. It's been a little glitchy, but honestly so cool. And before we jump in, I want to thank 3i for sponsoring today's episode. They sent me the S10 Ultra Smart Cleaning System, and I'll show you how it works in just a bit. Spoiler, it's incredible. Now, if you're like me, you've got a phone full of screenshots and Pinterest boards and maybe a lot of things saved on Instagram and all the things. But when it comes to actually visualizing your space, it's a little hard. And I've always wanted to do AutoCAD, but that's also really complicated and hard to learn. That's why I started using ChatGPT with the image tools. So now I can upload my floor plan, my inspo pics, and boom, it generates a super realistic rendering of what my home could look like. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes chairs are floating and things are in the wrong place and things glitch out, but it's also kind of amazing. And it's made me genuinely excited about planning out each space, because even though I can visualize things in my head pretty good, sometimes it's really nice to see what it's gonna look like potentially.
It's exciting.
So I'm gonna show you how to do it. Here's what you're gonna need. ChatGPT Plus, that's GPT-4, and I have GPT 4.0, and I'm not super techie. I'm doing the $20 a month one. I think you might be able to do it on the free version. And I know that they have an even more expensive version, but the $20 a month plan that I'm doing works really, really great. And I'm not selling it, just telling you what I'm using. Okay, then you're gonna need floor plan or room photos or both. I actually use both, and I think that that's really helpful. And then inspiration images. Go to Pinterest, go to Instagram, go to all the places and get an idea of what you like. This will really be helpful when you're trying to prompt ChatGPT of what you would like to see in your space. And then a clear vibe or style direction. So it's really helpful to know what kind of style you have. And if you're not sure, you could probably use ChatGPT to figure out what your design style is as well. So in my case, I definitely lean more on the traditional side with a few bold statements, but I also need to take into consideration the style of my home, which leans more Mediterranean. Now you need to be able to write a great prompt. But before we do this, what I would recommend, so you can easily find what you're doing, is on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a whole menu of things. And there's a place where you can put in new project, I believe is what it is. And then you go in there, you click on it, create a new project. And I would, in my case, I think I put something like Natalie's house plan designs or something like that. That way you can easily track back and find it without having to scroll through all of it. But if you don't do that, there's also a place where you can search your project in the search bar. I just have found that creating a project file makes this a little bit easier. Now, while I've been redesigning my house, I've also upgraded how I keep it clean. And this is the S10 Ultra from 3i. It's a vacuum, it's a mop, and a smart station all in one. This thing is next level. It vacuums and mops at the same time and automatically washes its mop as it goes. It's always cleaning with fresh water and not smearing things around with dirty water. It also uses green light navigation to detect dirt in real time. So if there's a crumb I don't see, it's already found it. And this part blew my mind. It pulls moisture from the air and recycles it like a dehumidifier, which we have plenty of humidity here in Florida, obviously, so it really does. And then it uses that for mopping, so no more refilling the tanks or dumping out gross water. What it does is it takes the dirty water and it runs it through a distilling process, and so it cleans it. So it's continually cleaning. Not only is it cleaning the mop as it mops, but it's also cleaning the water once it gets the dirty water and recycles it. How cool is this? It maps your house with precision. Honestly, I could not believe how accurately it maps my house. It's way better than any other one that I've used. No bumping into walls, no chaos. It just knows where to go. Also, they have cameras on the front of the vacuum. So if it's vacuuming and you're away from home, you can tap into the camera and see what's going on. And this actually might be a good way to check on your little furry friends as well. So I thought that was just a really cool thing as well. Of course, I have to name my vacuums. So we've got Rosie, we've got Vacula. This one, it's sleek, it's powerful. It's basically the Jedi of clean. So I need your help. Should we name it Darth Vac or Vac 2D2? My husband said it looked like Darth Vader to him. So that's the inspiration for those two choices. So drop your vote in the comments below. A big thanks to 3i for making smart cleaning feel effortless. If you want to check out this Cadillac machine, the S10 Ultra, it's in the link in the description box. So let's talk through some of the rooms ChatGPT helped me redesign. The Entryway was probably the easiest one of them all to design. Honestly, I probably did like maybe 5 to 8 variations of it. It went rather quickly. It really caught my vision. So I started with my before shot. So I just put in my picture, my before picture from when we moved in. And then I gave it some examples of things that I would like to see in it, including a door that I put into it that I would love to put in someday. I told it that I wanted picture box molding everywhere. I told it that I wanted to paint the walls a creamy white, and I think I was even specific enough to say Dover white. I believe that's the color of my trim already, so I put that in. And I just put all of the elements that I wanted to see in it, and the first take was actually very, very good. There was only some minor changes that I wanted to make to like the furniture or the rug, and it went super smoothly. One tip that I'll give you is with each different room, I would recommend starting a new chat, because sometimes if you stay in the same chat, it will add elements in from the previous conversation because it gets a little confused. So when you do decide to start a new room, just hit like project file and it will take you to like a fresh screen. And I found that to be helpful. So moving on to the living room, this one was actually not too hard as well. Probably a few more iterations. And that's another tip is once you get like the first one, you don't have to stick with it. You could be like, okay, I like this, but let's change that. It is a little glitchy. So sometimes it will change things that you actually liked and you'd be like, no, I really like this version. So make sure you add that back in, and you can just tell it what you like and what you don't like. And if it's done something weird, like put something in a weird place, just be like, get rid of that. That's weird. You can also rate the images. It has like a thumbs up or thumbs down. This really lets ChatGPT know if you're liking what it's doing or not. So I think that that is going to really make this aspect really cool as well. So then in the living room, I showed him a picture of the fireplace mantle that we already built, even though I was using one of my before images. I gave him the light fixture that we have. And then I said, I want to see picture box molding here because that's what I would like to see. And then, like I said, I went through several iterations and this is my end result. And I love it. It's inspiring to see this because then I can see the potential in my home. And sometimes we struggle to be like, my house is so boring. It can never look good. This is why this is so cool, is it can really inspire you and give you new life of what your home's potential really is, even if you're not a professional designer. So there you go. Okay, but before we get too far into this ChatGPT tutorial, do not worry. I have got a free guide that I will tell you about a little bit later so that you can know exactly how to do this and have something that you can follow. So stay tuned for that in just a minute. And then moving on to the dining room, and this one nailed it. And this was fun because I actually took pictures of my existing furniture, like the chair with the cheap print fabric on it in the back, and my captain's chairs and all of that. And I uploaded that in, and it nailed it. It was so good. This was actually the first room I started with, so I did it one time and then I revisited it. But this was like my learning project, and it turned out great. And I love that I can see this. I love how the dining room turned out. And then I turned to the kitchen. Now I'm going to forewarn you that kitchens and laundry rooms, and I haven't done a ton with the baths yet, but I've done a little bit with the baths. They're just a little bit trickier. I think it's just, they're more complicated to begin with. It doesn't always get everything right. So the kitchen was really fun. However, it was not getting my whole layout of how my family room is attached. So it actually put a wall there. And I'm like, you know what? If I can get an overall vision and a general direction of where I want to take this, that will be helpful. Also, for the life of me, there's a couple of things when it puts an island or a swimming pool, I'll get to that in just a second, in a certain direction, it really has a hard time wanting to face it 90 degrees turn. It does not want to turn it in the direction. So this is where I feel like it has a little bit of room for improvement, and I cannot wait to see what happens, because with AI, it's just learning so quickly that we might need to remake this video in a few months, because things could be totally different. So in the kitchen, I told it that I would really like to see white shaker cabinets and like a Carrara marble look. And it probably will go with like a quartz, but I just told it Carrara marble because that's what I wanted it to look like. And then I told it to leave that long, low window that's already there because I want to keep that. And then I put in my range hood that I am still planning on building hopefully soon. And then told it I wanted like black and gold appliances. I just wanted to play around, and you can have so much fun. If you're not even sure what kind of kitchen you want, you can do 2 totally different styles and get a feel for it. Now, I would do 2 totally different chats as to not confuse it. So like I said earlier, but this is so much fun. And then I moved on to the family room, and this one actually was only a few iterations as well. This one was really easy to put together. And this kind of gives you a look into what I'm working on now. Which is the monstrosity. As you may have known from my last episode, I announced that I'm launching a new channel where I'm going to be doing more of my big projects over there. It's called DIY to the Nines. It launches on June 16th, and then I will be posting over there. Don't worry, Design to the Nines is not going anywhere. This is where I will be more design focused, decorating, smaller projects, thrift flips, all the stuff that you guys love. And I really love to do the bigger projects, and maybe not all of you enjoy the bigger projects. That is going over on my DIY channel, DIY to the Nines. And if you are interested in subscribing to that channel, hop on over there and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the new episodes that are coming out there. It's gonna be so much fun. So I am so excited about this, and I've been working on it for a while. Back to the family room. This is gonna be one that we're gonna be working on, not like immediately on the channel, but I'm currently under construction right now. I ripped out the monstrosity, and this will give you an idea of the direction I'm hoping to take it in. And I could not believe how spot on accurate it was. It was really fun to see like my vision for it, like in picture format, because sometimes I don't get the payoff of that until I'm done. So this is another reason why it's so much fun. So with that design, then I moved on to the laundry room, which is also like on my short list of things that I want to do. Now in the laundry room, I want to put in a refrigerator. And for the life of me, I could not get it to face the correct direction. So this is what I'm talking about, it being glitchy. Overall, this is very close to the vision that I have for my laundry room. However, you'll notice that the refrigerator is facing this way instead of this way. For whatever reason, ChatGPT does not want, like when you think something is in the wrong direction, it does not want to face it in the right direction. I had this happen with the fridge. I had this happen with the island in the kitchen, and I had this happen in the pool area, which I'll show you in just a second. I'm working a little bit with the master bath, and here's what I've come up with. I don't envision myself doing anything with the master bath for a long time. It just is not the top of the list. It's beautiful as is, but I thought it was fun to play around. And this is some of the ideas that it had. And it's a little off, but we're gonna keep working on it. I'm still new to this too, and I'm just sharing it with you as I'm also learning it. So, okay, for the pool area, it overall nailed my vision. It nailed it, I love it, but it thinks I have a much larger lot than I actually do because of the golf course. Since my home backs a golf course, it could not delineate where the end of my property line was, no matter what prompts I gave it. I even like did an aerial shot and like mapped out how I wanted the pool to sit, and it just did not want to do it. So this is the overall vision, but the pool is absolutely running in the incorrect direction because we do not have that big of a lot. So overall, I still can feel like I'm envisioning what it can look like. Just rotate the pool. So that will be a fun project when we can get to it. Pool strikes, that's a so that might not be for a minute. Okay, so I'm not gonna go through every room in my house just because that would really drag long. The one thing is I have a guest bathroom that I thought about doing. I have something fun up my sleeve, so you're just gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a surprise. So hopefully this kind of tutorial gave you some ideas and gave you a good starting point to get started with ChatGPT. Now AI is, I have like mixed feelings on AI. It's so incredibly cool and equally scary to me because the knowledge that it has and how instantaneously it can do things, that's a little scary to me. I'm not gonna lie, but I also see like the good side of it. Like there's the bad side of it, but the good side of it is it's an incredible resource and it can give you so much knowledge, be such a help to you while also being equally scary. Here's the deal, and here's how I've fallen down to it. I know my values, I know like what I believe, I know my principles and all of that. AI is coming whether we like it or not, and so maybe we can embrace the good and really try to work on ourselves so we can be able to decipher what's good and what's bad. And that's just my little sermon or 2 cents on that. AI is a little bit of an interesting thing, but whether we like it or not, it's here to stay and it's going to change everything. I truly believe that. And if you want to try ChatGPT for your own space, click the link below for a free worksheet with all of my favorite prompt formulas and setup tips. It will walk you through this process so you don't have to remember everything that I just said. And of course, I've linked the 3i S10 Ultra below too. It's hands down one of my favorite home upgrades. One last thought, don't wait for everything to be perfect. Start with what you have and design your way into something beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And just as a reminder, you are powerful. We'll see you next time. Bye.